Hi everyone, Ribbit Gaming here. It's time for me to share my thoughts on another game. This game is called Metro Last Light. It's a first-person shooter developed by 4A Games, and it's set in the metro in Moscow. The world has been destroyed in a nuclear war, and you're playing as one of the survivors called Artyom. The the people now live in the metro and try to survive. There's difficulties between factions, and they can't get along very well, and the war is drawing near. This is a sequel to Metro 2033, and it continues the story from Metro 2033, I assume. I haven't played it, but it was easy enough to tag along with what was going on in this one. So let's take a look at the positive sides of the game. The game is very atmospheric, and that's due to its amazing sound design, its awesome graphics, and its attention to detail. Where it has some awesome lighting effects as well. It has a button which makes you wipe your helmet, the visor, and removes dirt like that, which helps give it a lot of. It feels like authentic, and it's not very gamey, I suppose. Um, yeah, it's a very enjoyable experience thanks to the atmosphere. I was freaked out a lot of times, mostly when you're up on the surface, but there were a few times down in the metro as well, where there's a very good sound design which makes you tense because you hear things, but you can't see them at first, and then when they appear, sometimes they surprise you, otherwise you expect them, but it's all a very tense experience. Yeah, the texture quality is great, most models are amazing, not really a lot I can complain about there. The story is good because it's an interesting story, it keeps you moving forward. It's not amazing like Bioshock Infinite, for example, but I've seen a lot worse. And it's a pretty hard game, like you can see right there. I died because I wasn't cautious enough. The game very much rewards patience and stealth. This right here is one of the sections where I was just very freaked out. It is probably part of the problem is probably due to my arachnophobia. I really can't deal with spiders very well, and yeah, you can see. And the sounds going on here was just freaky. I think I could put on some sound right here and shut up for a minute. Yeah, I was totally freaked out when I was done with that section. That's a side area where you get some loot and things. Not, it's not part. You don't have to go in there if you want, but well, I'm a loot horse. I really wanted that stuff, and well, when I was done, I was just freaked out. My heart was racing. I was really worn out. It's amazing. The gameplay is really really good. If you feel it feels rewarding, and your patience is rewarded if because well, it's really easy to die if you just rush into things. Things deal a lot of damage. I was playing on hard, and this was a lot of fun. It's well, yeah, it's just a great world, interesting world. You want to learn more about the things going on and the stuff that's happening. You feel compelled to move forward, and some amazing gameplay. This here is another section of the game where it's against humans here, and I'm trying to play very sneaky, I suppose. And well, it's great fun because well, it feels the weapons feel good. They have good kick to them, and the sound design is nice, like I said before. You and of course you want to loot as much as possible, otherwise you'll run out of ammunition and filters for sorry, filters for the gas mask. Um, yeah, I think I've covered everything really, but I want to show this clip here because I think it shows the stealth elements pretty nicely, and then I'll go on to some of the negative sides of the game.
An open wound. Well, the outcome here is obvious. I think you understand what has to be done.
What? Just look like fucking overgrown mud. I'm a soldier. I followed orders. Guys! The bitch is here! Alarm! They're here! Yeah! Freaking shit! Anyone see him? No! Here! Hands up! Hey, you, Catholic! Surrender! You are surrounded!
So yeah, there I sort of failed, but now I'll try to salvage the situation, I suppose, while they're looking for me down there. I move away, try to move around them. And if I had tried to run straight at them, I'd have been killed because you die very very quickly. And there I eliminated the threat, I suppose. And if you look at the watch, the wristwatch you have around the hand there, it either shows the real life time when you don't have the gas mask on you, the time on your computer, or maybe it's the Steam time, I'm not actually sure. And then if you have your gas mask on, it shows how long your filter have left in it, and that's a very neat detail. It's just cool that it's there. That and the wiping of the gas mask gives it a pretty authentic feel to it, and just the light, the sound, and everything comes together in a really great experience. However, there are a few negatives, I guess, I want to deal with, and one of them is that the game is very linear, much like Bioshock Infinite, that I also reviewed. There's very few times where you can stray off the path, and often it's just very short rooms, small rooms, or maybe not even a room, just one little corridor. But I can accept that, I guess. It's not a big deal because of the atmosphere and that the gameplay is so fun and that the story keeps you compelled. It's somewhat short as well. It took me around 10 hours, I guess, to beat it. Well, there are shorter games, but I'd have liked a longer experience. But as I said, and the flashlight as well. You have to charge that. So when you're dealing with those spiders, like I were before, where they are weak to light, and you have to flip them over to burn them, so you can kill them. And you have to charge the flashlight, otherwise it will run out of the light will grow smaller, will shrink rather, and the what's the word I'm looking for? And after a while it will just shut off. So you have to recharge it, and that's pretty important, so that you actually can see what's down there, because it's a pretty dark game. And the last huge negative side to the game is that the hardest difficulty and the mode advertised as the way the game is meant to be played, that's DLC, downloadable content. You had to pay for it, or it was a pre-order bonus, but now you have to pay for it, and I refuse to pay for it, because when the developers start putting out the extra difficulties as pre-order DLC, I think it's gone a bit too far. I don't want game content that's not cosmetic to be pre-order DLC. It's just wrong, in my opinion, because then we're just heading to a really awful future where half the game could be pre-order DLC, and then you'll have to buy it later if you haven't pre-ordered. But I guess they want to force you to buy it new, pre-order it, because they want your money, I guess. But I don't like that at all. It's a shame, because I'd have played it through again on Ranger mode if it wasn't DLC. Now I've played it through on hard, and I want to play more, but I don't have an extra difficulty, and I don't want to play it again on hard. It was such a great experience, and it's too bad that it's brought down by the DLC, I suppose. And for my final thoughts then, great game, very few flaws. Shooting is fun and rewarding thanks to the stealth aspects to it, and that you die very quickly if you aren't careful. The atmosphere is great and the world is interesting. It's really easy to get lost in it and get really freaked out by when you get attacked by the monsters and other things. And to the downside there, it's a way too linear game, way too linear, especially the sections when you are with non-player characters where they guide you. That there's barely anything in those sections. You can't stray very far off the path or anything, and the voice acting isn't up to par really. There's been some great voice acting in games the last couple of years, and this isn't one of those games which has great voice acting. It's decent enough. I can manage with it, but I know some people have recommended to put it on Russian with English subtitles. And the worst part of it, the Ranger mode, is marketed as the way the game is meant to be played, but was only a pre-order bonus and is now the DLC you have to pay for, which I find pretty sad. But it's a great game and I recommend people to try it out. It's easily one of my favorite games this year. This and Devil May Cry so far has been the most fun for me. And well, I hope you give it a shot. Give the game a shot. It's definitely worth it. And I'll see you next time.